Alright, WordPress 6.6 is around the corner, and I wanted to highlight a couple of features because release candidate 3 is coming out tomorrow, which is Tuesday the 9th US, so Wednesday the 10th for everyone else outside of US time. I'm Sam, I'm a developer here to just showcase a couple of cool features I found in 6.6, and I'm in the midst of building a theme, Apollo, and I found these pretty interesting, and I will need to rebuild some aspects in Apollo, so I wanted to sort of showcase this for 6.5 and back, and the fluid will be set to false. In 6.6 and onward, you can actually set this to a default font sizing, and instead we change this to true, and so this to true, and then we can change this to default, if I can spell properly, font sizes. This errors out right now because this theme is actually being ran in 6.5, but on local I have a version of this running on release candidate 2 for 6.6, and what this will allow me to do now is specify the base minimum styling for my fonts across the theme, which is pretty handy. You can do this directly within the typography setting within the theme.json. If we have a look at also what else is coming into WordPress 6.6 is section styling. So you can use the register block style with section styling, and actually have overall individual styling for sections of a page and a post without having to reapply certain styling bits to several blocks one by one. I showed this in a version of a video, which I'll link in the video description below, the other week, for sort of like styling consistency across blocks, and this sort of falls into that. It came into the block interactivity API in 6.5, and if we have a look at my dev site, look at our sample page, and if we have a look at sort of our layout here, I've actually got a plugin that you can download as well to sort of muck around with these features in depth too. The link will be in the description for that. But I've got a section block and a margin block here. And my section block has some really bad styling attached to it, but it's individualized from the main section block itself. If I wanted to apply this globally, I would be able to. I can just set this value within my global theme styles, and then from there set that up under my register block style function in my block. So that setup is in the code for this theme, or this plugin, sorry, and you can have a look at that and use that for your own leisure. It's called Prototyper, and you can have a look at that later if you'd like. Another couple of cool features that I sort of wanted to highlight as well with this is the typography sort of reset, so preset. Pause. Cool. Cool. 1, 2, 3. Another feature I wanted to showcase is sort of consistent for those who would build a light and dark mode into certain themes. You can actually, under your color and typography setting, under your styles, so if you go into your editor and then click styles, pick a style. This is just the 2024 theme because this was what came with the 6.6 RC2. And we go colors, and we can select colors and fonts dependent on our color palette. So you can go to text and obviously change everything as you did before, but if we look under palette, you can set custom settings, and if you have a certain flag set up in your theme.json, you can now change the font as well, dependent on the palette. So if you have a light mode and a dark mode, you can actually change the font for that individually as well, which is pretty cool. So this version hasn't got that set up, but I'll link to an article in the video that you can have a look at the bottom of the video that actually has this sort of showcased as well. Plugin wise, my plugin that I have put up called Prototyper has a couple of features showing off, which is the grid block, which is a new feature as well, which looks sort of like this. If we go back to our pages and cancel this out. One of the features, 1, 2, 3. One of the features that I wanted to showcase as well with 6.6 is some other features to margins and sections. So my margin block that I've deployed is just an easy way to sort of muck around with the margin settings. You can now set negative margins in 6.6 as well. There's also a grid as well that you can muck around with for grid layouts, which is pretty handy. I have a grid block that I've deployed as well. My default is 3, but using their automatics grid built into the 6.6 RC2, you can go as much as you'd like. So you can go manual, which will set to 3, auto is 2, and you can just keep adding and adding and adding items. You can see I've got a heading number 1 and 2 inside here, and if I just want to duplicate this as well, you'll duplicate the row, and I can go in here and just keep going and going and going, which is kind of cool. Another cool feature as well, you notice that I actually didn't, it had a white space here, but it inherited the grid styling property, which is cool. So it had the same separation, same sort of split up, but it didn't actually go ahead and add in a negative space or just bad styling, or just like, when you've built like a call to action card or like a pricing card where you have icon 1, icon 2, and then there's this blank space for 3, and it looks bad. This doesn't have that, which is quite nice. So I can change that to 3. So there you go. So there's our 4-item grid, which is pretty cool. I thoroughly recommend, if you want to have a bit more of a muck around of these specific features, check out Prototyper on the GitHub. Otherwise, I'm going to link some notes to RC2 in the blog post, but RC3 comes out tomorrow, so I'll probably have to add some more extra features in. Just a note as well, RC3 is what we might end up getting as actually 6.6, so I will look out for more updates from me if you want to see more changes coming to WordPress in 6.6 and anything beyond 6.6. Take care and have a good one.